right, we've got testing 1 2 1 2. All right, welcome to House Culture Conversations. And our guest today is none other than Geek Goddess from Depths of the Underground. And we're having our series of what we call the moderator or the mod squad, or this new role that's been birthed in the Twitch streaming universe. How are you this evening, afternoon? I don't know when we're going to air this. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. How's your family? How's everything getting along? I guess it's still the COVID era, so I trust you have come out of this well.
Yes, we have. Yeah, everybody's doing well. Family's doing great, and just trying to go back to the normal.
Yes, and normal it is, and that means we're getting back out to live events and other things like that. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But tell us about you, where you're from, and how you got into this thing called house.
Okay, so I am actually born and raised in the Philippines, and I came to the U.S. when I was 17, and I got into house because of my husband Steve Madera. So when we started dating, that's how I got into the music and the culture. And when the pandemic hit, he started Depths of the Underground, and I sort of kind of got involved in there because I'm helping him moderate. So that's how I got into house music.
And it's interesting how that comes about, right? Because we went to start streaming, and as a DJ was DJing, it's hard to see what's going on in the chat. Usually, you DJ, you can see the crowd and they're responding to you, and you know it's happening. But there's this chat, and the chat became very active, and all of a sudden, we needed someone to kind of manage what's going on in the chat, and the moderator was birthed out of that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, when Steve started streaming, and he it's hard to like you said, it's hard to see what's going on in the chat because the DJ's focused on the music. So I got involved and I started helping out with the chat, and yeah, that's how my responsibility as a moderator started.
And it's interesting because the moderator is now as important as the DJ in a lot of in a lot of ways, and people
Yes.
recognize the moderator and chat and engage with the moderator often more than the DJ. What do you think really drives that? What's the vibe of the moderator?
So I think it's the fact, like, so it's kind of like when you welcome somebody inside your house, the
Mm,
moderator's like the heart of the house. It's like it's the moderator's job to make people feel at home and feel welcome, because it's kind of hard to you know basic convey that message when we're doing things virtually. But with the moderators, it kind of adds like that touch of care, and you know like that welcoming aspect of it.
yeah, because I know when I started. I mean, I met Steve over the streaming, in Twitch, in the
In
Twitch
Twitch
streets, I
land.
guess. Yeah, in Twitch land.
Yeah.
And we just connected, and I would drop in on Depths of the Underground here and there. I really fell in love with it. And we just
Oh,
developed a
nice.
relationship. He jumped on this show, and he learned a little bit about me and my show, DJing on Tuesday nights and other things I had going on, and we developed a relationship. And I feel like the streaming world has been really important while we've been shut in, because it allows us to still connect. And that moderator, to your point, has brought in that aspect of the community that says, hey, this is a great place to hang and vibe, because the
Yes.
DJ might not see that person, but you saw me, and you say, hey, DJ D Live, what's happening? How you feeling today?
Yes. Yeah, that it's, yeah, exactly, because it's really hard when the DJs focus on the music, and especially when there's a lot of people coming in all at once in the chat, and it's hard to keep up. And yeah, that's basically
Now
that's
for
basically my role.
yeah, and I mean for Depths of the Underground, you have some other moderators as well.
Yes, yeah, yes, we do. I primarily it's me, and once in a while, there's gonna be, the spouses of the other DJs that would help out, and which is nice. Like what you said, it's a sense of community, and you know, the mods definitely play a good part in the whole streaming aspect.
Now, you guys have built a pretty strong community, and it's one that's really driven by the music and being kind and treating people, just like family. Why do you think house has been so popular and continues to be so popular, even after the pandemic and with many other things that we could be focused on? Why do you think house music is cutting through?
So I think it's the way people feel when they listen to house music. It's very different from listening to hip hop. Like when you listen to house music, as the song goes, it's a spiritual thing. It's
Okay.
it's like a feeling. So it's that feeling, and it's almost like a spirituality. You know it's the spirituality of it, and then the sense of love and community that house music brings to people. It's very different from hip hop and all the other music genres.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, we've asked that question a number of times, and to your point, it's the feeling, it's the vibe, it's the community. It's a safe space. It's also a
Yes,
place where you can let your hair down and really connect with folks. So I definitely see that. And the moderator brings that to life in the virtual world, because
yes,
when you welcome me in and say, "Hey, DJ D Lot, what's happening?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here. What's up, fam?" It's that welcome home, right? To your point about bringing someone into your home and making them feel welcome and making them feel invited. Now,
yes.
on Depths of the Underground, you guys have like some resident DJs, but you guys have some like Super Saturdays and some other things. Those are like big events for you. How do you orchestrate some of these big events? Like in the Twitch world, now we have raid parties where it's 12, 24 hours, 48 hours. And how do you moderate these long sets like your Super Saturday?
Oh, it's actually it takes a lot of time. Takes a lot of planning, because a lot of the DJs that we have when we have Super Saturdays, they're international DJs. So we have Stuart Pilling, and then we have Steve Solgasmic that's in the UK. Sometimes we have Mary Blue from Spain. So it's a lot of um, coordinating, which is handled by Steve. I mean, Steve does all that, and yeah, my job is, yeah, like you guys too. For the DJs here in the US, so it's about coordinating ahead of time, and then my job is just to show up show up on Saturday when I have time, and try to moderate. And it does take a lot of time, because our Super Saturdays, it's pretty much what, 12 to 14 hours of music,
Yeah.
depending on how many DJs we have. But yeah, it
Yeah,
takes a lot of
it's a
commitment.
full it's a full day. And I'll tell
Yeah.
you, I mean, from DJ to DJ, you guys, moderate, perfectly. From the first DJ to the last DJ, you feel just as welcome, just as engaged. And I think that's a credit to you and what you do as a moderator on Depths of the
Thank you
Underground.
so much. It's really hard because I also work. So
Yeah.
I'm trying my best, like on my breaks, to show up and be there.
Yeah, and I think to your point, as you said earlier, that's why for some as your station grows, you have other mods that kind of help and support the continuous music that can
Yes.
go on for hours sometimes. What
Yes.
have you had any like major like disasters or blow ups while you guys were doing your moderating or doing any of your sets?
You know what? Luckily, there hasn't been anything major, like disaster that happened while I'm modding. Um, I I think I had to like ban some bots, when we were first
Yeah,
starting, because if you didn't have um there's some sort of setting that you have to have, and like you have to ban the bots from coming in, which there was a lot on Twitch. So it was just that you have to kind of like pay attention and make sure that it's not spamming on your chat.
right.
Yeah, but nothing
Yeah.
major.
Now that you guys are getting back to kind of having um, some live events, I know DJ Big Ken just had something recently. Uh, how do you balance that? Do you think that the Twitch streaming is going to kind of come down, or do you think now we have a new channel and Twitch will continue into the future, but being back live will be where we get together in person?
So actually, um I had definitely seen decline in attendance as far as streaming on Twitch, because like you said, everything's going back to normal. We're doing live events. But Twitch is, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's there to stay. Streaming's there to stay. There's still some people that like listening to house music at the comfort of their home.
Yeah.
They grown accustomed to hearing Depths of the Underground. And also, we built community international. So that's one way for them to keep up with Depths of the Underground, is through Twitch. So I think it's there to stay. We're still gonna do Twitch, and we're also gonna do the live events.
And so, do you think they'll come together? So, for example, your live events will be streamed on Twitch, and people will be able to participate at your actual live events.
Yeah, I think at some point that would happen. That way, the other parts of the community that's all over the world, can experience what we're experiencing at the live event, sort of.
Hmm.
Um, at least they would feel like they're there, even though they're far away.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Now I know at Depths of the Underground, you guys really come from a place of it's about the music. It's not about followers, likes, and
no,
notoriety, but it's really about being focused on just the music and being really kind and nice to people, welcoming them, and creating that family. Why has that been so important to you guys at Depths of the Underground?
well, so you know with Steve playing at the clubs, I mean, you're familiar with the club culture. It's kind of different.
Yeah,
It's about who you know, and you know, it. We're trying to veer away from that, and create kind of like a safe space for DJs who are unacknowledged. We want to have them, to give them a place where they can shine, basically. You know.
yeah, I love that. I love that. The fact that you don't have to be well known to hang out with the folks at Depths of the Underground is pretty cool, right? And
Yeah.
it also allows people to get exposed to other vibes because I've really enjoyed the DJs on Depths of the Underground. I
Oh, thank
mean,
you so much.
I listen to, even though I've played and, I'm looking forward to joining on Sundays on a regular basis. I can't tell you how excited I am
Oh
about
my
that.
God, I'm so excited that you're you're joining. I love good
Yeah.
music.
So, I mean, that is going to be so cool. But I mean, Super Saturdays, I think, for at least the last few, I've stayed all day. I have, you go in and out because you got to go get something to eat or something. But, and I have just literally enjoyed every one of the DJs, no matter where they're coming from, what style they play. But more importantly, love seeing you when you mod and just make everybody feel welcomed and engaged and noticed. Because that's what it's all about. When it's all about the DJ and all about who they are, and giving them all the visibility and attention, the community loses its the connection, right? Because
Yes.
it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, they're just doing their thing as this DJ.
Mm-hmm.
But I love being on there. Yes, I've got the music in my ear, but I'm looking at the chat because I'm kind of following what Geek Goddess is commenting on from somebody else, or maybe Big Ken is there. Big Ken and I went to the same high school, so oddly enough, right? So we'll get on there and be like, Blue Smoke, what's happening? Mendel Monarch, we do that. And all of that, you just connection is something that Depths of the Underground does better than I've seen in many of the Twitch streams. So again, hats off to you guys for
Oh, thank you
creating
so
that.
much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, when you do things from the heart, like really, we're just, basically Steve. I'm just supporting Steve for in doing what he loves, you know,
Well,
and
and
that's
in
what
that
we do.
you've become a celebrity.
Yeah, unexpectedly, I guess.
Yeah, because you start, and we'll be out in these Twitch streets, and hey, Geek Goddess, hey, how are you? And you're like, hey, DJ D Lod, what are you doing? We just bump into each other, or Dreammaker Diva, or
Oh, I
Judy,
love Dreammaker Diva.
or just different people, and you're like, whoa, that's when you realize the family that's been created out of Depths of the Underground. Because when you're out somewhere else and you bump into those people, it's really a vibe and it's really cool. And you're like, oh, well, I'll see you at Super Saturday, right? Or I'll see you,
Right.
whenever. So it's really cool, and the moderators really make that happen. So much so that even emotes, right, are now created to mod love, mod squad, right? All this because
Yes.
the moderators have become very important in what I call, kind of delivering that vibe from the DJ. So the DJ is playing that music, but it's that, moderator that says, boom, oh, another hot one, whatever, or follow this DJ, because you all also have that ability to give, visibility to the DJs that might be in the chat. So, when you say, hey, exclamation point DJ D Line, and it says, hey, follow DJ D Line. And that's another really cool thing that you guys do, because, I've had people come check out my station because of Depths of the Underground.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole goal of this whole thing. I mean, it's pretty much building the community, sharing music, the love and, passion for it. Yeah, I mean, when that happens, that's, we accomplish what Depths of the Underground is trying to do.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So now, where do you see house music going? I mean, let's turn back to the music. I mean, this moderator thing is crazy, but where do you see house music? As you mentioned, you have DJs on Depths on the Underground from across the pond and other parts of the world, and they're playing different genres and different vibes. Where do you see this thing going?
I mean, gosh, music is always evolving. I think there's gonna
Mhm.
be, there's gonna be more genres. I mean, there's gonna be more house music that's gonna, it's gonna keep evolving in the future, but it's here to stay. Um, you see other, artists in the mainstream trying to, put their spin on it, like,
Yeah.
Beyonce and Drake. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna continue to evolve, and I, it's always gonna be something special. It's always gonna be here.
Yeah, and I think to your point, we'll always have the Twitch environment. And so mods, where do you think the role of the mod is? You think that'll evolve as well?
It's there to stay because it's almost like if you don't have a moderator in the chat, it feels like an empty house. You know,
Yeah, that's a
it's
good
like there's
analogy.
nobody talking.
Yeah.
It's very important because it's hard when you know you're trying to make everybody feel special and make everybody feel like they're seen. And if there's no moderators, it's hard to do that. It's hard for the DJ just to do that by themselves. So
Yeah, it
moderating
really
is
is. And I know that life. I know that life. You're trying to play a song and you see a chat and then you can get into the chat because sometimes it's really engaging. And I've had songs just play out and they're like, "Hey, there's no music." I'm like, "Oh, get up there and put another song on," and that's definitely embarrassing. But it is just an awesome thing to just have you on and talk about the role of the moderator and talk about music. Give us a little more insight into Depths of the Underground when you guys are on, some of your DJs, how people can find you guys.
Okay, so people could find us on Facebook and Instagram under Depths of the Underground. They could also follow DJ Steve underscore Madera on Instagram. And I'm geek underscore goddess on Instagram if they want to follow me as well.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to having you guys continue to do your thing on Depths of the Underground. I'm a fan. I look forward to hanging out with you guys and playing music and being a part of your ever growing family. And tell Steve I said hello, and we'll see you real soon.
Okay, will do. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And I love your show too. And your music is amazing. I'm glad
Oh,
that
well,
you're going to
hey,
be
I
part of our
appreciate it.
Sunday lineup.
Hey, I appreciate that. You guys have been nothing but inspiration for me. This has been House Culture Conversations. We're going to talk to you real soon. Oh, and there's Steve. We go see you guys real soon. Peace.